So today we want to talk about a really interesting product. We're going to talk about BIMS, our Biometric Identity Management System, a system or a solution developed, manufactured, designed, thought of by Ideco South Africa, a very proudly South African product that we take to market. A really interesting product and a product that is really set to take the world by storm. What's great about the product, apart from all the accolades I've given so far, is that it is, as I said, proudly manufactured in South Africa in Ideco's offices. So I want to start right at the beginning on, before I go into BIMS, on what a biometric is, because I think it's really important to really get the full value of what was created with the BIMS unit to start right at the beginning. So if we look at the definition of biometrics, you see it's relating to or involving the application of statistical analysis to biological data. So effectively, what we have is a biometric refers to metrics related to human characteristics. So there are some of the characteristics that are typically human: fingerprint, palm vein, face recognition, DNA, handwriting, palm print, signature, hand geometry, iris recognition, retina, odor, scent, typing rhythm, gait, and voice. And all of those can be viewed as some form of biometrics. Some of those are easy to use, some of those are more difficult to use, some of those are very expensive to actually analyze, some are a lot less expensive, and they have varying success of readability or usability in a biometric environment. But more and more, we are seeing that while we historically have seen fingerprints as the primary biometric that we used to, and more recently iris and vein, there are really strong, compelling reasons to look at multimodal biometrics. All right. I think the primary reason is to improve the recognition rate and the reliability of whatever process we've put in place or using these biometrics from a process perspective. So when these biometrics are statistically independent from each other, you actually increase that recognition rate and reliability. There are other reasons, and again, one important reason that I put on the screen there is the fact that different modalities might be appropriate for different applications. So if you look at, for example, issuing a driver's license or getting through a door from a security perspective, you might want to use completely different modalities. And as this market grows, a very exciting market, we're seeing more and more different modalities being used for different applications. So it really is important that we start understanding the concept of multimodal biometrics and not, I'm going to call it unimodal, or single mode, but that we start looking at multimodal biometrics in more detail. But one of the important things around any biometric environment is success starts with enrollment. You know, if you have a great environment, you've enrolled people successfully, then the entire application, whatever you're trying to use biometrics for, will just be more successful. And as you'll see in the session, I think I said in 3 weeks' time, when we look at successful implementation, really success does start with enrollment. So it's really important. Now, this has been recognized by many people. You know, multimodal, let's make sure that we have proper enrollment as part of the process. So typically what you see on the left-hand side of the screen is what people are currently doing. You have a whole range of devices. I'm going to say that they kind of put together with a little bit of sellotape. And you are really writing an application or developing an application that takes you from one of the device to the other device. Very complex to set up, very complex to manage, very inflexible. And so today we proudly talk about BIMS, our Biometric Identity Management System, which you see on the right, a single unit allowing you to not only enroll in the most recognized biometric types on the market today using industry standards, but also allowing you on the same device to actually start looking at a variety of applications. So all the problems we start to see creep up with multimodal biometrics At Ideco, we have already solved with our BIMS unit. So if we go back to the original design concept, so when we start looking at when this project was initiated and we were looking at the design of the product, what we are looking at is at taking very prominent biometric modules, things like fingerprints, iris, facial, palm vein, speech, signature, and really taking those biometric models, those that we thought are really important and that are leading edge and are the recognized, the best recognized modalities moving forward, putting them together with a whole set of communication modules, with a whole lot of interface modules like cards and printers and sound, and a whole lot of system modules, and creating a single unit that you can use to not only capture these biometric environments, but also create applications using the biometric environments. So let's quickly talk about what we see on the screen in front of us. I'm going to go through each of those elements individually very quickly, just to give you some idea of what's been incorporated into this design philosophy, if you like, that you see in front of you on the screen. So the first thing, you can't really see it well in this photograph, but you've got dual fingerprint scanners allowing you to take FBI approved. You can see a whole set of industry standards that are used as part of the fingerprint enrollment, allowing you to enroll all 10 fingers in a very, very quick environment. All right. Apart from that, we have a 5 megapixel camera also on the unit that allows you to do facial capture. And what's quite important is the placement of these elements is really aligned around usability. So, I'm sure you've seen multimodal environments where you've got to move forward for the one mode enrollment, you've got to move backwards for the second mode. This is all set up so that from the same distance you have the ability to actually take all modes that you want to enroll. So the autofocus camera, we have an iris camera again that supports industry standards. We have the Palm Secure. We had a session on Palm Secure a couple of weeks ago. That is actually reading the vascular structure within the palm. So it's not reading any surface environment, but actually reading the vascular structure that is contained in the palm itself. We have audio for voice biometric solutions. Again, a variety of standards. You can see high industry standards that are part of the process. We have a signature pad, again, to look at signatures as part of a biometric environment. So you can see when we look at the enabled biometrics, you can see altogether you have the 6 primary biometric solutions in one device rather than 6 different devices that you see most organizations would put across as part of a multimodal environment. We have a bar and OCR scanner. So there is ability to take or interestingly read coded material. That could be a driver's license, that could be a barcode, that could be an ID card. So a whole variety of devices that can be read with the barcode and OCR reader. There are 2 touch screens, and this is quite important. If you look at the picture in front of you, you can see you can actually see the 2 screens. If you look at on the vertical axis, you can see 2 screens on either side. Now that's quite important because that allows you either to have it only customer operated. So I, as a user, would come, I can enroll, I can run through an application. But very importantly, if there is an operator needed to guide me through or talk me through or manage the process, there is place for the operator to sit as well on the same unit and has their own screen that they can use. You have backlit keyboards with touchpad on the operator side, so it's really easy for data input. In fact, data input is actually quite flexible in this environment. It's exceptionally easy to go through the enrollment process. You have a thermal printer with an auto cut function. If you need proof of any transaction, so somebody comes, they either go through an enrollment process, or as I'll talk in a few minutes, they use an application and they need proof that they've executed something. You actually have a thermal printer on the device that can actually give proof of some process that has been through, that you've gone through. You have a variety of contact and contactless cards for a variety of protocols supporting security, identity, and payment solutions built into the device itself. So enormous flexibility and a whole range of options within a single unit. If you look at communications, we have GPS positioning, which is really important if you're out in the field and you need to know where a certain biometric or an application was conducted. You have Wi-Fi, you have Ethernet ports, you have Bluetooth, and both 2 and 3G connectivity within the unit. So what you see is an incredibly flexible unit that allows you to utilize a whole lot of biometrics, a true multimodal environment that you have in front of you, completely configurable through an API environment. Now, this is really, really important because while we can say have a flow that says, I want to come up to this device and for applications that I will need in the future, maybe I do all 6 biometrics. I actually go through all the biometric environments and I read them, and because I've enrolled them properly with industry standards, I can now create my own flows for the application. So again, this entire environment is configurable. In terms of what I mean by that is you configure the unit to operate in a specific way for an application. So for this application, I'm going to have to enroll face, iris, and voice only. And then when I use the application, I want maybe only voice and iris because I want to see a picture of the face. All of those are options in enrolling and also in executing an application. So here, for example, we have a voting campaign where somebody would bring a card, an ID card, for example. You would scan that ID card to make sure it's the right person, check their fingerprints, and then present them with the screen, allowing them to enroll, allowing them to vote. So you have an extremely powerful environment with BIMS, allowing you to not only enroll a variety of biometrics, a true multimodal environment, but enroll them to industry standards, acceptable industry standards in the marketplace, and then use those biometrics as part of an application in a very portable device. So it's a single device allowing you to use all biometric modalities to facilitate smart identification and digital service. It really ensures a faultless enrollment experience, and that's really, I mean, I've used this device many times. It is exceptionally easy as a user being enrolled or in fact as an operator. So you can use it for border security, e-government transactions, elections, any application you can think of. The beauty of this is that application is not fixed. I have an application I'm using it for. I go into the field. I want to change the application. I just on the server configure the new application, switch the device on, it uploads everything, and I have my new application. So optimized additionally with the intelligent power management software to meet very strenuous operating environments. As I said, it's fully configurable whether you're running in kiosk type mode or in operator assistant mode, and you can integrate this into your legacy environment. So a really powerful environment. And if you look at the why Ideco, when we look at, I think, the 4th element from the bottom, research and development skills, and the one above it, manufacturing capabilities, you see the capabilities and skills within the organization that allowed us to build a solution like this, take the solution to market, and as a partner of Ideco's, this is the value that you're getting. The ISO certification around the design, the manufacture of the unit itself, and the both pre-sales and post-sale support with not just the BIMS product, but all products that are serviced through Ideco. So I just want to thank you very much for your attendance today to this webinar on BIMS. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop us an email. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.